Hey people, it's the Band of Brothers 21 again. Uh, I watched a video last night called The Walking Dead. It's a really good movie. It's about this cop. He gets shot and wakes up out of a coma and finds that the world that he once knew is no longer the real thing, the world's gone to the zombies. And it was great. But getting back to it. Anyways, when he wakes up, he goes to his house and finds that his wife is gone and his kid is. But he knows that they're still alive because family albums, photos, everything is missing. He meets these a dad and a son who took refuge in his house after this all happened. When they help the officer get better and from his gunshot wound enough to where he can fight off the zombies, they go to the police station and they end up cleaning out the gun cage there, and he takes all his guns, but he runs out of gas before he can get to the safe zone, or so he thinks, which is Atlanta. But when he gets to Atlanta, he finds this horse about 40 miles away from the city. He saddles it up and he rides into Atlanta. When he comes across a large party of zombies, they attack him and his horse, and the horse dies, but he manages to crawl under a tank that's sitting there and climb up into it. And a Chinaman named Glenn radios in the tank and asks if he's still alive, and when the officer answers yes, what?
I was just looking at how much time you do.
He saves the officer from being killed. And when he tells the officer to get out of the tank and run on the right side of the road, when the officer's only got a Beretta 15 rounds. When the officer meets up with him, they get to a safe zone where they get to a safe building, or so they thought. But from the gunshots of the Beretta, where he was clearing out the street so he could get to the Chinaman, the zombies are swarming the shop, and the guy there that's the sniper for them is crazy, and he gets handcuffed to the piece of metal on top of the roof. When he does, when they end up having to go out in the street and get a truck. When they get to the truck, they need to create a diversion so they can get the scavengers that the officer met up with out of the story. The officer gets in this mover's truck, and Glenn, the Chinaman, ends up getting in a red Camaro with black stripes, and ends up creating a diversion, but he outruns the zombies so they don't kill him. When they get out, the officer finds his family because his best friend, Shane, who was an officer, created this little area, and they went up to this old abandoned, right up above an abandoned old rock quarry that had like this little lake in the middle.
Why'd you say my name? I'm playing.
Anyways,
Don't let me get you.
when he gets there, he's really happy to see his family. The mom, his best friend told the mom and son that he had died. Not from being attacked by zombies, but just died of the gunshot. Anyways, he stays there, but they go back for the sniper, 'cause they got swarmed and the zombies broke through both glass double doors, and the guy that had the key fell and dropped it when he was trying to unlock the handcuffs, and they dropped him down a drain and they couldn't get him. Anyways, when they go back for him, they find out that he cut off his own hand with the saw blade. And when they get the bag of guns, they come across a janitor and a special care provider, and that's a nurse also at this nursing home. And them two found the bag of guns that the officer that's the sheriff had dropped. When they find them, they attack the sniper's brother and beat him, but they capture Glenn. The officer and the two other guys that was with them to get the sniper back, go, and the janitor, who acted like a gang member, said that they better either have his bag of guns or come locked and loaded, and see which group won. But they didn't have to do that. They ended up just giving the custodian and janitor and special care provider a sniper rifle, 4 shotguns, and 3 handguns. When the 4 of them go back to get in the van, they find out that Merle, the sniper, took the van, and so they have to run back to camp, and they get halfway back up the mountain, the road, and they hear screams from the camp because zombies have came up there and are attacking everybody. And Shane and all the men try their best to fend them off, and Glenn, the sniper's brother, the guy who dropped the key, and the sheriff come in with shotguns and handguns and save most of the camp members. Then they end up leaving camp, and the sheriff tries to contact the 2 people that helped him get enough to where he could fight, well enough to fight, and they ain't radioed him back. But it's a very good movie, and they end up going to the CDC. But when they find out that there's only one person there working on the whole cure, they stay there, and the guy says there's no going out, and 30 minutes till this timer runs out and says that the fuel's all gone, and starts decontamination, which means that it catches the oxygen on fire. He shuts the doors and won't let him out, but in the end, they threaten him with a shotgun and an axe, and they shoot up the computers until finally he just scans his card and lets them out. So they get out, and when they do, they're lucky to. When they get out, it's daylight, so they get in their cars. But the guy who dropped the key to unlock the handcuffs to the sniper, his wife stays and dies with the professor that was working on the cure, and then they get in their cars and they drive off, and that was the end of season 1 of The Walking Dead, which was on AMC. Y'all might have heard of it, but it was a really good show, and they got it on DVD now. So any of you that want to see it, that's a good thing for you to see. This is the Band of Brothers 21 signing off, and this is Guitar Villain saying see ya.
Scenes in the future.
I hope you enjoy this video, but if you ever if you like it, just subscribe to me, and that's all I gotta say. See ya. Until next time.